Hello, my dear viewers. I have a very exciting thing to share with you today. That is a product review. And we're going to be looking at GB Operator by Epilogue. So this is a neat thingy, which I purchased for a very specific reason, but it does have some cool features. So essentially, let's take it out of the box. This is a doohickey which plugs into your personal computer via USB. Basically, you can put in any Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, or Game Boy Color cartridge, and it will be read by the device, and you can play it on the PC. It's not like you're playing just any ROM of the game. You are playing your save data, so it transfers the save data from the cartridge to the PC to play on the ROM, and then when you're done playing on the PC, you can transfer it back. You can transfer like any new data you've created onto the cartridge again, and then you can play it on actual Game Boy hardware, which is just kind of cool. While that is really neat and fun, and you know, kind of a good way to back up your saves, like if you got any old Pokemon saves you want to back off on a PC, pretty good option. But the reason I got it is for this thing, the Game Boy camera. Now, I got into Game Boy camera photography relatively recently, and not really for any specific reason, just that it's kind of fun and interesting, and it takes really horrible grainy photos, but they do have a certain charm to them, don't they? And what's great about the GB Operator is that you can transfer the photos from your Game Boy camera to a PC photo file extremely efficiently. It lets you view them, you can save them as a batch, you can also delete them all at once, which is really useful because if you delete them using the Game Boy camera, it can be relatively time consuming. Not that it's that difficult, it just takes quite a bit longer than being able to batch delete them, which is just a great feature. One thing you can't do with the GB Operator is actually use the Game Boy camera while it's plugged into it. It can't use the actual camera functionality of the Game Boy camera, which is too bad, but that's, I guess, just how the hardware works. I previously had a device, I guess I'll show it here, which was also able to transfer Game Boy camera photos to PC or smart devices, I guess, but it was much less efficient and just really slow. And yeah, this is definitely a preferable option, I would say. I think I bought that thing on Etsy. It's good, but I think this functions better for being able to efficiently take pictures, transfer them to PC, delete them, and then go back out again. Because the Game Boy camera can only store up to 30 photos at a time, which is shockingly enough a very small amount of photos. So this actually does alleviate that a bit, in that it's very fast to transfer photos over to PC and delete them and then go back out again and do more photos. I've tested this recently with a few different projects, one of which was a little stop motion test film. Here it is, check it out.
Oh hey, it's me, Gregory, from the hit short film, The Journey of Gregory. Well, it looks like I'm in a Game Boy. Shoot. Now what do I do?
Well, that was really something, wasn't it? The next thing I did was I took it to an event to get some photos at that event, and that event was Open Sauce 2024. This is an event put on by YouTuber William Osman, makes tech inventions, and I went to the one last year in San Francisco, California. I really enjoyed it. And it was held this year again at a different venue, but also in San Francisco, California. And I had a great time, and I took a couple of Game Boy camera snaps. I mostly just enjoyed myself, soaked in the atmosphere, went to some panels, saw some exhibits. There was one exhibit which I found very cool, which was a giant Game Boy camera that had been constructed, and it had a feature where you could take a photo of yourself and have it printed out as a sticker, which I did. Look at it. I took a picture of myself with a Game Boy camera on a Game Boy camera, and then I took a picture of that picture with my Game Boy camera. Shout out to that booth, that was really cool. So anyway, obviously I can do that with any Game Boy camera, but having the ability to transfer it to PC very quickly is nice. This is basically, for me, mostly functioning as a card reader for my Game Boy camera to just quickly transfer photos. And, you know, I've taken some pictures of the cats, you know, gotta get cat pictures, of course. It's just a fun activity to find what things would look like in a Game Boy camera. That's an interesting thing to discover. But I have also used the GB operator for playing some old Game Boy games and backing up save files, which was pretty fun. Going back to Lego Star Wars on the GBA, you forget how rough that looked. But yeah, it's just a neat product. My main complaint, I guess, is that it took a long time to ship, and that would have been fine if there was like a shipping estimate, but there wasn't. Oh well. So it took, I don't know, like a month or two to ship, and there just wasn't a time frame given. I don't know, maybe I could have contacted customer support. Whatever, I got the product, it worked out. I will also say that one thing this doesn't let you do is it doesn't actually play the Game Boy games natively like some other products do, like the Analog Pocket, I know, plays the games natively. It's not emulating them, whereas this is emulating them, but it does have the save data from the cartridge, so it's a pretty neat experience. It's kind of like turning your Game Boy into a Switch experience where you can play it on the go and then plug it into the PC. Obviously, you could do that with some official Nintendo products in the past, like the Super Game Boy and the Game Boy Advance Player on the GameCube, but this is just a modern thing you can do that doesn't require that old hardware, which is pretty expensive. Either way though, this is a neat product, very niche use, I guess, in my case, where I'm mostly using it to transfer photos in a very low resolution without color. But if you're looking to play Game Boy games on PC with a cartridge, this is pretty cool, I guess. Neat little novelty, which does have some use, I guess. That's all for this video, my friends. I hope you enjoyed the product review. I have more video coming soon. How can I end this in a neat and cool way? Here we go. I'm gonna end the video in a neat and cool way by tying it in to the theme of the video. I'll show you how I'm going to do that. Here we go. I'm going to finish this video by taking one last Game Boy camera picture. Snap. That's lovely. Look at it.